What's happening, tribe? Welcome back to good to see you, first of all, and welcome back to our fixture planning episode. Which this is the first episode in this series of fixture planning. Sushant and I are going to be tracking the fixture planning from now on. As we started the transfer session last week with Bhavin, so this is the two series which we're going to run parallelly, as and when we get time. And fixture planning usually we'll try to keep it on at this time, considering the game week gets over at this time, and we can just look forward going forward into the future game weeks. I'm joined with Sushant after a 3-4 week break, as he was busy. How are you doing, Sushant?
Great, Anuj. Yeah, it's wonderful to be back and exciting period, the December period, obviously. So it's a
Yeah,
good time to start the fixture planning. We have a lot to think about and talk about in this session.
correct. All right, so we're gonna kick start with it. What we've done here is these are the top four teams in terms of their FTR. And this is from the game week of 16 to 21 that we will be concentrating on at. Game week 21 is the first. I think it ends on. It's the first game week of the new year, 2022, and before the break, which is going to happen for the FA Cup or the international break. So the game week that range that we're concentrating at is 16 to 21. What's the standout for you here, Sushant?
Obviously, United. I mean, it's just a. I mean, not just these six. I think they have. If you look beyond as well, they have a stunning set of
Right,
fixtures until
right.
Feb, I guess. So definitely new manager bounce. We'll have to wait and see how that will pan out. It's a slow start this in the previous game week, but they have good set of fixtures. So definitely that stands out. A lot of no one really has United assets right now, so
Yeah,
worth looking at. Obviously, West Ham's fixtures also turn now, and looking at the way they won against Chelsea,
yeah.
yeah, it's always good to see that. So you never know how West Ham perform. Antonio is back on the radar probably. You know,
Right, right. No, so
yeah,
you were right. So what we're gonna do here is, so what we've done is we have put all these fixtures into three buckets, and we're gonna look at this from the short-term perspective, from a medium-term perspective, and from a long-term perspective. And when I say short-term, medium to long-term, we are talking about the range of 6 game weeks till 21st game week. So this just gives you an idea about the rankings of in terms of the easier fixtures for the top four teams. Crystal Palace third, City fourth, and as we go forward, we would see number five will be Watford, and then we have kind of looked at 9, 10, 11 because these are the teams where people are looking to invest or they already invested, especially Tottenham. Uh, Aston Villa I've mentioned specifically because I'm quite impressed with how Gerrard has started. 7 goals in 4 games. Different scorers, very attacking football, and the fixtures look decent as well. Apart from the next one, which is when he comes home to Anfield, and let's see how that shapes up. But yeah, after Liverpool, they have Norwich, Burnley, Chelsea again, then Leeds and Brighton. So Aston Villa is one another team which is a number 10 as far as the ranking is concerned, and then Chelsea 11 because most of us are invested in the defenders or one or two. So yeah, so let's get into the how we have put them in buckets. Sushant, over to you.
sure. Yeah. I think what we've done here is look at first we look at teams that have long term good fixtures, someone we want to get in and keep for a while. I know there's a little bit of a swing in terms of the fixtures with United's fixtures turning, West Ham's fixtures turning. So,
Hmm.
and some of the other teams whose fixtures turn a little difficult. So definitely looking at those teams and who are the players to target there. And then we'll also discuss like a little bit of medium term and if someone wants to punt on a short term or already own someone in the short term, and
Right.
who are those players and you want to hold and how long should you be holding them. Yeah, briefly, I think we'll just go through all of this.
All right. So we'll start with the short-term one.
Yeah.
We put two teams here, Leicester and Newcastle. Uh, you know, uh, Leicester, the ones which are marked, which are underlined as red, are the fixtures that can be targeted. As you can easily see, there is not a stretch. They don't have a stretch of more than a game where you can target, whether it's Leicester or Newcastle. Now, the reason we have put Leicester is also primarily the reason we have put these two teams is primarily because managers hold either Vardy or Wilson or both. Uh,
Yeah.
uh, I think Leicester is looks to be Vardy should being an expensive asset he is and benched yesterday, though he played for half an hour, but which was expected.
Yeah.
But Newcastle next fixture looks like quite delicious for Vardy owners if they still own him.
Yeah, absolutely. I think they should hold for sure for the Newcastle fixture. Um, and looking at Game Week 16, I think that people could also take a call if there's another player that comes into the picture, maybe Ronaldo or something for the in
Right.
the high price range. But otherwise, I'd say you could even hold him all the way until Everton, if nobody else
Mm.
kind of opens up, because especially Vardy, he's good with the top six teams. You never know how's he going to do
Yeah.
against Tottenham. He could really do that well as well. And there's obviously Everton, which is seriously struggling at the moment. So I'd probably still hold him until Everton, if nobody else kind of shows up in this time.
Correct. And I think Vardy's form this season at home has been much better than the away form.
Yeah,
So yeah, so people can look at him. Newcastle, you know, this was personally speaking, I thought a lot about getting Wilson in 2 game weeks back, but just couldn't get him because I thought Tony
yeah,
would do better. But there are a lot of people I know who just got Wilson in just for those 2 fixtures where he's already scored. He's given 9 points each in the game
yeah.
in the matches. Uh, do you think he should be still held on to looking at the fixtures?
I So the thing is, yeah, Leicester is definitely a wonderful fixture. I mean, Leicester defensively, they're all over the place at the moment. So I would
Yeah,
say Leicester, you hold for him. Liverpool, City, and United seem a little difficult. It's tough. But if you don't have, I mean, you would want to only hold on to him if you have fires elsewhere. You have to fix other areas first, and then I'd say
right.
hold him until Everton and Southampton. But otherwise, seems like it's a bit of a difficult stretch. And then again, Everton by that time, and they could get back a few more players,
Correct.
DCL and others, and could get a little bit more stronger. So you
Hmm.
never know. This is a big enough stretch. So I'd say Leicester, and then probably let go of him. But if you have other fires to fix, then yeah, might as well hold him until Everton.
Right, because now Tony is also now out for 2 game weeks because of
Yeah,
COVID.
yeah,
And so your options anyways, and on the other side the good news is Bamford is now available from hopefully I think he's going to start from next game week.
yeah,
So people who would like to kind of target Leicester, uh, because also Bamford fixtures are not really good in the next 3 to 4
yeah,
game weeks. They play all the top 3 4 teams,
yeah,
Leeds.
yeah.
So yeah, so it's I think Leicester is the fixture that they can target with Wilson, considering he's
Yeah.
in form. So
Another
yeah,
thing I
and
want to
yeah,
kind of note here is that Wilson is on 4 yellows. So
correct.
there's that obvious chance of him getting suspended for one of those games. So we never know.
Right,
Yeah, so that's another thing for people to keep in mind.
right. All right, we'll move on to the media term now, wherein we will look at a. So median term basically would be defined as out of the 6 fixtures, 3 or 4 would be in their favor. And as we saw in the first slide, Crystal Palace overall in the next 6 game weeks they were at third in terms of FDR. And these are the fixtures that they have. Everton home, they're meeting Everton just at the right time because Everton still has a lot to prove in terms of how they've behaved and how they've played in the last 4 to 5 game weeks. Obviously, they have a match tonight as well against Arsenal, which is at home. I'm expecting some kind of a comeback from them, though they're still missing a couple of big defenders and obviously DCL. Uh, obviously you must have watched the United Crystal Palace game. Did you think Crystal Palace did they offer anything yesterday?
Not too much. I think they were. I think United were pretty organized. So Crystal
Yeah.
Palace, I think they had one chance. IU had one good chance,
Oh yes,
which it
that was
didn't
a
take.
close one. Yeah.
That was a close one, but otherwise, not much. They didn't really offer much.
Hmm.
They didn't really have to save anything. So,
Right.
uh, yeah, but I think there's still. I mean, if you have Gallagher, for example, I would say it's still a good to keep him for Everton. Southampton fixture is always kind of end-to-end kind of game. Southampton cannot
Yeah.
play that way. So, and then obviously Watford, who concede a lot of chances. So I think I still
Mm.
feel like those three fixtures look good for Crystal Palace. Gallagher, if you have
Yeah,
him, you want to hold.
correct. And to be honest, Crystal Palace assets anyways are not expensive, so you can hold on to them because Gameweek 20 is Norwich at home, uh,
Yeah,
and Vieira has kind of hit a block in the last 2-3 game weeks, and he
yeah,
would love to kind of come back on track. So I think these are the next six fixtures. Tottenham away, obviously Tottenham now obviously in good place, and West Ham.
yeah,
But I think apart from those six, the four fixtures he's looking at, I'm sure he'll definitely look at a minimum of 2 wins or
yeah,
2 wins and a draw or something like that.
yeah.
Especially against Watford and Norwich. So yeah, Gallagher and Benteke. I think these are the only two people who are in form right now.
Yeah. The only concern is Gallagher. It looks like he's gone a little bit
Mm,
deeper in the last few weeks. That's the only concern. But I think a lot of people do own him, and I'd say obviously
right.
you continue owning him for this period, for this stretch, because
Correct.
there's still good fixtures. Um,
True. True. All right. Now the second team under this medium term is Watford, and I was just in the last discussion, the transfer session that we had with Bhavin, and I was saying that which was it? When was the last time when a team had to offer two in-form budget strikers?
yeah,
And I couldn't remember of anything. So I think this is a great chance for in this season, where still there's a lot of huge debate going on between King versus Dennis. Now Dennis is at 5.5 or 5.6. King is still at 5.7. So yeah, the fixtures look absolutely stunning, and how they have kind of performed against the big ones in the last 4 game
yeah,
weeks. It's been a pleasant surprise.
yeah. I know. Definitely. I think the since I think only the game week one when Ranieri came in against Liverpool, that was the game that they got
Yeah,
really thrashed. But since
yeah,
then, I think they've had pretty decent performances overall. So and yeah, obviously recent history, like against United, even against Chelsea, they were really, they could have
correct.
easily gotten 2 goals there as well. Yeah, I think pretty impressive. Only concern for me is that they have in the next four they have three which are away games. They tend to play
Hmm,
better at home.
correct.
But yeah, otherwise still for the value that they give both Dennis and King, quite amazing. I mean, you could easily bench them for one of these games. Maybe if you think like Wolves is a tough fixture, Wolves is generally pretty solid defensively. You could bench them, but
Yeah,
I'd probably get them in and keep them on the bench and hold them. That's my seventh, eighth attacker for sure.
no, absolutely. Because as you rightly said, next three fixtures definitely play them. You might. It's Wolves. Wolves at home is very strong, as we saw against Liverpool as well.
Yeah,
uh, West Ham, Tottenham at home. So to be honest, you can play them 4 or 6 fixtures, next six fixtures.
yeah,
If either whether it's Dennis or whether it's King, doesn't matter because both are in prime form. Obviously people who want to look at the fixtures beyond 21 as well, they can.
yeah,
But there's still a slight doubt about Dennis's AFCON participation, which is obviously not confirmed yet.
yeah.
But there's still minimal chance where I read that the manager and obviously the relationship between him and the manager is not good, and
I see.
the association is going to remove that manager and get a new one so that this guy can come back in. But I think
I see.
it's December 5th, and I think they need to announce the squads 2
Yeah,
weeks prior to something like that. So it's going to be interesting. But yeah, the probability is he's going to stay. And if he
yeah,
leaves, I think you had mentioned earlier, if he leaves, that'll be a tricky one for King as well, how it really affects him.
yeah,
Sar, anyways, won't be there, I think he's injured right now, but
yeah.
even if he's fit, he's going to go and play in
Right.
AFCON. So it's a tricky one do you
Definitely.
have either of them?
I do. I did get in King just this week.
Okay. Right,
So I mean, he's on penalties, and I just
correct,
wanted that, just someone to come off the bench if needed once in a while. Could
right,
play in one of these games, Burnley, maybe Brentford even. So I thought, why not King? The
sure.
obviously Dennis, if he doesn't go, that's wonderful. I think he's probably the better asset. But yeah, if he's going to go, that's going to be around game week 20.
Right.
So yeah, I didn't want to have that extra transfer to deal with again later. So
Yeah, interesting. It'll be interesting to see Watford how they perform now. Now, if you remember, we had done the same. I think 3 4 game weeks back, we were talking about the Brentford assets, and you had
Yeah,
particularly mentioned, and Brentford had the same stretch of kind of a run where
right.
they performed really well against the top teams, and when they got the easier fixture, they have totally
Yeah,
just kind of derailed. So that's an important thing to remember. If Watford might, it might happen the same with them as well.
yeah.
But attack-wise, I don't think defense. Anyways, they have been leaking, so I don't think they might slightly get better. But attack-wise, I would be surprised if they suddenly go blunt. So
Yeah, I think they look good. I think definitely, and as I said, as we just mentioned, it's just the value 5.6 and 5.7.
right,
That's
correct,
just stunning for a striker. Yeah,
correct. All right, let's go to the long-term ones, where we can look at the attacking assets as well as the defensive assets, because obviously it's long-term in nature.
yeah,
Long-term means at least 4 to 5 out of the next 6 game weeks, and maybe beyond, considering the kind of team we are talking about. Obviously, the first one, Manchester United. Some amazing fixtures:
yeah.
Norwich, Brentford, Brighton, Newcastle, Burnley, and I think all these 5 are maybe leaving Brighton. All the other 4 are maybe Brentford as well. In terms of defensive stats, they're obviously in bottom 5.
Yeah. I mean, actually, more recently, Norwich have improved as we saw
Oh, yes, of course, of
with
course,
the new
yeah.
manager bounce. But Newcastle, Burnley are obviously among the bottom few
Hmm.
teams. Um, I mean, Brentford as well, like somewhere in the mid-table. Wolves as well in the mid-table. But yeah, none of them none of them are really performing as well. None of them are in the
Right.
top 5 at least in terms of defenses in the last 4. So yeah, all of them do concede chances. There's a good chance that United score. Uh, Big question, obviously, on who is going to score and how
Yeah.
Ragnick
Yeah.
is going to set up. Still worth waiting and watching, I guess, instead of jumping on one
Right.
asset. But yeah, still look great fixtures. I'm looking at between 16 and 17, just figuring out who that asset might be.
No, absolutely. I think 16th has, as you said, Norwich does have improved in terms of defensive, but the kind of teams also they've played in the last 4
True.
under Dean Smith have been, I think, bottom 10, well, bottom half of the table,
Yeah.
apart from the yesterday's one, Tottenham. But yes, they have become defense, and he categorically mentioned, yes, we have become. I'm talking about Dean Smith. He mentioned that yes, we have now become solid at the back, but now I want us to be more
Yeah.
expressive going forward. So he clearly knows that the goal scoring is an issue here at
Right.
Norwich, and this is at home, so it might just play in Rangnick's style of how he usually plays. And I love the way United played the first half yesterday. It was just
Yeah.
amazing to see how they were pressing, and it was just unfortunate that they couldn't score. There were easily 2 chances they could have scored, but there were a couple of players who did look tired after 60 65 minutes, and I think he rightly subbed off Sancho, and because I think I have a feeling he's gonna concentrate a lot on Sancho. So,
For sure.
and
Yeah. I mean,
Rashford looks sharp as well.
yeah, I think I mean Rashford is the kind of striker that he likes. I feel Ragnick
Mm-hmm.
likes someone who's running behind and it's just someone creating for him. Yeah, and Sancho is he was really good yesterday. I mean, I know he was
Yeah,
a bit tired and he got pulled off, but I felt like he was the best player for
correct.
United in attack
Absolutely.
before he got pulled off. But yeah, I think I am looking at definitely Sancho because he's a easy for me for my team structure to get in. But yeah, I want to see a little bit more from United and see how he kind of fits in and whether they score more. United have the fixtures. Now we want to see
Correct.
some goals flowing in to see
Yeah,
where we
absolutely.
can fit in.
Absolutely. Same with West Ham. West Ham has also gone through, I think, in the last 5 fixtures, 3 were against City, Liverpool,
Yeah,
and Chelsea. Though they have won at home against Chelsea and Liverpool, 3-2 phenomenal games.
yeah,
Uh, and it's amazing to see. Sorry to say to all the Antonio owners, I'm not an Antonio owner, but they've been scoring goals left, right, and center, where Antonio's involvement has been quite low. And I think we as managers have to kind of appreciate Moyes as a manager, because he knew that it's not that Antonio was not playing well. It's just that I think the opposition was able to kind of handle him better, and he still kind of figured out, if Antonio is blocked from all angles in terms of
yeah,
where his expertise lies, I have 3-4 resources elsewhere as well. And
Yeah.
Bowen and Fornals, and I was surprised Lanzini taking a penalty as well.
Yeah, true.
So that was a shocking one. But yeah, West Ham's fixtures, Burnley. Uh, I would definitely go back right away to Antonio if I have the option.
Yeah.
Uh, Arsenal game, yes, Arsenal is playing well. This will be a London derby as well, but I would fancy West Ham to score a goal, and I think Antonio should now
Yeah.
be kind of licking his lips to score in these next 4-5 games.
Definitely. I'm sure like he's had like I don't know how many games he hasn't scored since. So
Yeah, 8 or 9.
he's
Yeah,
desperate. He's definitely desperate to get on the score sheet.
correct.
Yeah, the fixtures are there. Yeah, even Arsenal. I mean, I think last season, I think there was a 3-3 draw between West Ham and Arsenal, which was like a complete
Mm,
end-to-end kind of game. So you never know. I mean, that game could go in any direction.
right.
Yeah, Norwich, Southampton, Watford, Crystal Palace, all of them look great for them. So
Yeah,
same thoughts. I think we agree on that. Antonio is somebody we can look at. Bowen as well.
correct.
Both looking really good.
Right. And City, obviously, um, they are fixture proof like Liverpool and Chelsea to some extent. This season, City usually kind of changes gears in December like they did last season, and they're looking to do that this season as well. Wolves might be a tricky one next one. But to be honest, with City, it's not about looking at the fixtures; it's just about what assets to pick. But having said that, Leeds at home, Newcastle away, so that can be a high-scoring one.
Yeah,
Leicester home, uh, Brentford away, and Arsenal away.
yeah,
So really, if really we have to kind of think against City, yes, Arsenal away could be a little tough one, and Wolves the next one could be a one where they might not be as free flowing as they usually are.
yeah. I mean, in my opinion, I mean Arsenal for City has not been a tough fixture. Like I don't know,
Mm-hmm.
Arteta and Pep. I think Pep has always come up tops. So for me, Arsenal. I mean, I don't see any fixture here which is like tough for City. Clearly, even for
Yeah, of course,
Wolves in the past, I
correct,
know they defend well, but yeah, it takes a lot. You don't have
correct,
none of the
correct.
ball. Wolves is not going to get any of the ball.
Yeah,
Um, I guess Wolves have beaten City in the past with Nuno has beaten with
yeah,
countering City. So I don't know if he can
right.
do it again with Bruno Lag, but yeah, the rest of the fixtures look great. It's as you mentioned, it's all about who do we pick from
Yeah,
City, who's going
exactly.
to play.
So
It's a tough one for sure.
yeah, this I think the fixtures look pretty attractive for them. I think they can. In all probability, they might just win all 6 of them, and they're anyways at the top of the table, and they might just consolidate that standing there.
Yeah.
So yeah, so long term, United, West Ham, City. Would you, by any chance, look at a West Ham defensive asset by any chance? Looking at these fixtures.
No, I think the issue with the West Ham is I mean there was a Johnson, I think 4.0
He's injured now, right?
he's
Yeah.
injured. Yeah, he got an hamstring injury. Then they lost a couple of center backs as well.
Zuma as well. Yeah.
Yeah, Zuma as well, and I think before that they had a long term
Yeah.
injury for
Yeah.
someone else
Correct.
as
Correct.
well. So they really
Ogbonna.
are struggling. They only have two center backs at the moment.
Hmm.
They also don't have Cresswell. So yeah, it's a bit. I wouldn't right now look at their defense just
Right.
because of
Right.
this. And also, there's a really strong template in defense for us.
Correct.
So yeah, I can't see how we're going to get in West Ham as it
Big at the back, which apparently is not working.
yeah.
So, all right. So this is the long-term fixtures. Now we're going to look at some other scenarios. A couple of teams, as we mentioned, Tottenham in the beginning. They have obviously started doing well against under Conte. 3 wins and a draw. Um, Pretty solid defensive-wise, as was expected. Now the fixtures are Brighton away. They are ninth on the fixture FDR. The next 6 game weeks. Brighton away, Leicester away. Then the tough one, Liverpool home, Crystal Palace home, Southampton away, Watford. So yeah, so apart from Liverpool, uh, I still am not really convinced, with their attack. Yesterday also it was Lucas Moura's amazing,
Yeah.
long range shot. Yes, Son's finishing was good. Son was the third goal. Second was again kind of lucky one where it just fell in front of Sanchez and he just scored it. Yes, it was a flick of Davis, which credit should be given there. But in terms of the free flowing, what we usually know of Contes, I think he's still kind of struggling in terms of the team is struggling. Obviously, he's not struggling. The team is struggling to really put his strategies onto the field.
Yeah, yeah, I think so. Yeah, I mean, even in the previous game as well, they won by a solitary goal or maybe two
Correct.
goals. But yeah, they are not playing as well in attack. Obviously, Kane has been like assisting the assister or
Yeah,
sometimes
it's been
dropping
a
into deep, is
correct.
missing chances as well. So yeah, they're not there yet. Not as I mean, not competing against the top 4 or 5 in terms of attacks for sure.
Mm, mm.
So yeah, considering the price that they have, I mean, unless you already own them, I know. I mean, a lot of Kane owners are getting rid of him. Probably some owners, because he's returned in the last two, they might still hold on to him. But yeah, I don't
Right.
see too many returns in these kind of fixtures. Maybe Leicester. You know, Leicester's defense has been a little leaky, so maybe.
Yeah.
But on the other hand, I feel like their defense has become quite solid. They're not.
Yeah, there are quite a couple of options out there, right?
Yeah, they have, especially the price points, right? So you have Davies at 4.4,
Right.
um, Dyer at 4.5, and then obviously Regulon now has gone up to 5.3, I think. So yeah, I think they have quite a few options, especially Davies if you want to get him in as like even a fifth defender.
Mm.
I feel like it could be like a long-term hold, considering how Conte's team play well in defense, and like there's a good
Right.
chance that they'll keep clean sheets along the way. You know, he could be a kind of an enabler. 4.4 feels like, you know, you could afford someone like that.
Though having said that, he has just started 5 games overall in this season. So yeah, maybe after last night's performance, he got 2 assists, I think.
Yeah, yeah. I think it's the way he sets up, right? The three at the back. So
Correct.
you have someone at the center who's Romero is injured for a
Yeah,
while, who's used to sit at the center, and then
and I think
Dyer.
Region last night got injured as well, so
Yeah.
he would be definitely out for at least 2 weeks because it's a
No, I think
hamstring. So
no, I think Regulan he confirmed. He tweeted saying that he's fine and he should be back, and not to
okay,
remove him
okay,
from the FPL
yeah,
team
that
because he's
was
back.
funny.
So
Yeah.
he should be. I think he should be back. So we'll hear from Conte soon. So let's see how that goes. But yeah, I feel like the defense, even though the fixtures are a little bit dicey, I feel like they could
Hmm.
grab a clean sheet here or there. You know, Crystal Palace,
Yeah,
Southampton.
having said that, Brighton, yes, Brighton has been good in defensive, but offensively, they are in the last 2 games. They've been scoring winners in the injury time, thanks to Mope. But otherwise,
Right.
they're really struggling in terms of scoring goals. And with Tottenham's
Yeah.
defense, that might be a. I think I wouldn't be surprised if there's a clean sheet there.
Yeah, it's possible.
Um,
Another thing
Leicester,
is that
not
I
sure.
think
Yeah.
Brighton also had Trossard who got stretchered off. I think last
Yes,
in
correct,
this game
correct.
week.
So,
So
so
if that happens, yeah,
that's a big worry for them then again.
yeah.
Uh, and Graham Potter is not anyways in good books of the Brighton fans because they booed him, and he said that
Oh,
what else do you want? I'm at look at the table. We are at 8th. You're still booing me. So
right.
yeah. So I think yeah. So Tottenham could have a clean sheet, but Leicester, Liverpool might not be. But anyways, if you are getting to a 4.4 or 4.5, you can use them as a Livermento, and
Right.
leave them on the bench
Yeah.
and take it from there. Liverpool 13th on FTR. Aston Villa home. That's going to be. I don't think it's an easy game at all. We might concede as well, considering how Gerrard has been playing. Newcastle is the one where we can look at scoring a few. Tottenham again is a tough one. Leeds, Leicester, Chelsea is a tough one. Now, is there obviously Liverpool is now, if I'm not wrong, at 9 clean sheets. Chelsea's at 8, and I think City is also at 8 or somewhere. Yes, of course, everybody is after, and they have two attacking assets of Liverpool. But people who do not have a Jota or anyone else, could they look at double Liverpool defense?
Um, yeah, I think the issue with that right now is the Salah and Mane going for the AFCON. They
Mm.
might start messing from game week 2021, I think.
Yeah,
And yeah, I mean, in that, what do you do in that case? Like, do you
correct.
at that time get in? You'd want to have Jota then, is what I feel like. You want to have a Liverpool asset. They'd only have Firmino and Jota in attack, right? You guys will only
Right,
have them, and you have Alexander Arnold and Robertson just creating chances for them, left, right, and
right.
center. So I feel like even though Jota misses so many chances, I feel like he should be able to do it, and he's got a free run in the team. He's going to start almost all the games. So for me, I feel like you'd want to have him. So maybe when Salah goes, you might want to think about him, but we'll have to see. I think they have Leicester, Chelsea. I don't know what the other fixtures are. I don't know if they're playing
Yeah,
City.
so after Chelsea is Brentford home, then is Crystal Palace away, and I think then they'll be back. So because after that there's a international break. So this is the
Right.
23rd Jan.
Okay.
So
Yeah, I think
Brentford
that.
home, Crystal Palace away is not bad. But yeah, it's up to it will be a tricky call to see whether they really leave. And I think Klopp is trying to push these respective country associations to let them play till the 2nd or the 3rd of Jan, and
Okay.
then make them leave. I don't know whether he'll be successful in that or not. But even if that happens, then they only miss 2 game weeks,
Right. Yeah.
uh, which is I said, like I said, Crystal Palace and Leicester City. But then if we'll have to obviously see other fixtures where how good or bad they are for other big teams. If
Yeah.
Salah could be left on bench for 2 game weeks,
Yeah.
because buying him back will be at
Yes,
13,
definitely.
12.9. Yeah, that'll be crazy,
Yeah.
right?
So yeah, right now I don't see it. Yeah, obviously you want to get Chota in, settle in. His rising prices again. He rose again tonight. I think at 8 now.
Yeah, yeah.
So for me,
And
he's in.
Trend is at 8.1 now. So yeah,
Yeah,
so
trend is at
it's
8.1. So yeah, I feel like defense is difficult at the moment. You have to
hmm,
have two
hmm.
attackers in Liverpool at the moment.
Right, right, right. All right, perfect. That was a great discussion. People who are watching and who are listening to us on podcast, please consider supporting FPL Tribe by leaving a like and subscribing to our channel. We are seeing slow growth for our subscribers base growing, and that's very, very encouraging for us as well. And do not forget, there is no midweek this time. It's a Champions League week, so the deadline for game week 16 is Saturday as usual. So take a break for 2-3 days, especially for feel sorry for the Kane managers. I've on Twitter, it's all over. How frustrated they are. If I was the owner, I would have definitely been in the same boat. The way he has just not been performing at all. Just one goal, I think, in the season.
Yeah.
So just take a break for 2-3 days. Enjoy the Champions League. Enjoy the Europa League. And we shall see you guys for the transfer episode, and I'll see you, Sushant, for the next fixture episode as well. Thank you very much, guys. Take care. Cheers, Sushant.